my kitchen. And today is all about the Calamarata and seafood medley pasta. This is a Napolitano dish. It started in Napoli and it's spread all over Italy. And what it really is all about is about this beautiful little pasta. Is this, let me bring it closer to you so you can see this pasta. This is a Calamarata pasta. It's a nice, thick pasta. It just went on the floor. And guess who got it? My dog. Yes, he likes raw pasta. And what I did is I had just put it in some hot water, the pasta, because what I want to do is I wanted to get it al dente. And let me bring this guy up when it's cooked al dente, because it absorbs a lot of liquid, and we're going to be moving this into this. Yes. And I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. So right now we're sitting in hot water. I just kind of cooked it for about a good 8 to 10 minutes because I'm going to finish it in here. So la prima cosa che da vero fare, the first thing that we need to do is to prendere il faddale. And when I have a beautiful faddale here full of butterflies and hearts. And today's a beautiful day. I woke up to, it was very, very cold. So this is perfect. You know, my mom, when it would get cold, she would either make pasta or soups or something, you know, that she would be cooking all day long and you would smell it. So what I want to do is we're going to use a cast iron skillet or a skillet, any skillet that is coated. And I'm going to have my power on high. I want my power on high. And what I have here is I have 3 tablespoons of olive oil. This is such a simple, simple, simple recipe. 3 tablespoons of olive oil is going to go right in here. I want my olive oil to glisten. Glisten, 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 glisten. And again, that's my new word for 2022, glistening. Where it came from, I don't know. So my 3 entire tablespoons of olive oil are in there, starting to get heat up. What I have here is I have 24 ounces of cherry tomato sauce. Because I will explain to you why. I have 24 ounces, plus we're going to be utilizing some pasta water. And since I make my own, and I take them out of the jars, I also like to wash my jar, and that's what I have that. Over here I have a 3/4 cups. Some, you know, you may use a 1/2 cup. I like to use 3/4 cups of good white wine. I have some parsley that I'm going to be utilizing, probably about 1/4 cup. And then what I have here is 2 tablespoons of oregano. It is dry oregano. Just use your fingers like that. And then what I have over here is I have an entire shallot that I have chopped. And that shallot, I'm going to go ahead and put it right in here in my olive oil. Very simple, because my olive oil now, it's ready to take that wonderful deliciousness. All right, get that out of the way, put that on the side. Very simple ingredients. And then what I have here is I have 5 cloves of sliced garlic. Now, I love garlic. I'm using 5. If you don't like a lot of garlic, use 3. Then I have a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of black pepper right in here. And then, of course, it's going to bring this whole thing together, this deliciousness, is I have a good heaping teaspoon of red pepper flakes. That's also going to go in there with my wonderful delicious shallot. So that's in there right there. Then I want to bring your attention to the seafood medley. You know, all the stores sells a seafood medley. And with the seafood medley carries, it's got calamaris, it's got clams, it's got octopus, and it's got shrimp. So the way that this whole thing started, some wonderful Italian mother must have came up with this. And it started in Napoli, in Naples. And the reason that it's called Calamarata, guys, is because it resembles, or let me see if I can get it. I have to use my hands, but maybe not. Let me see if I can get one here. It resembles a calamari. So they're round like that, correct? And then your calamari is like this. So in different parts of Italy, depending on where, they may use a lot of seafood, or they might not use a lot of seafood. So right now I want to take my garlic and I'm going to add my garlic, because what's happening is everybody is marrying each other. They're all coming together because this is going to go really fast. Now, if you don't want it to be this spicy, you can use a 1/2 teaspoon. I like a little spice because my father would always say, your blood. Ah, there you go. Okay, so now that this is doing this thing, I don't want it to burn. I just want everybody to kind of get to know each other, getting to know you. So now I'm going to take a little bit of a pinch of salt and pepper, just like that. Very simple transaction. Easy peasy mazzy. Now I'm going to take my white wine, and I'm using 3/4 cups because I like white wine. I like any wine. Maybe 1 or 2 glasses, because more than that, at my young age now, I start falling asleep. Go figure that out. My mom was like that. My mom loved to have a glass of wine. She would get so happy, and then after she would get so happy, then she would start falling asleep. Now I'm going to add my oregano so it'll bloom into all of this deliciousness. I am going to add the rest of my salt and pepper. When I get my tomatoes and I make my own sauce, I do not salt it. But, that's where I'm bringing this in. Now it depends on what you are using. You can also, what happened is in Italy they have these beautiful little cherry tomatoes. And what they do is at the peak of the season, they pick them. And then they just slice them in half. And then they do this with the fresh tomatoes, that they are these beautiful little tomatoes. And I could not find them here. But when I was growing tomatoes, which right now I'm starting to grow cherry tomatoes, when I have a lot of them, I will make a sauce. I will jar them, and then you could freeze it. You could freeze them in baggies. Easy transaction. All right. So the thing is we do not want to add the seafood yet. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and add my beautiful sauce. Oh yes, my beautiful sauce. And then I'm going to come back here with the water that I had before from my previous one. Put your hand over that, and it comes right out, just like that, just like so. All right, in the meantime, I still have my beautiful pasta right here. So now what I want to do is I really want to get this rocking and rolling. I want to bring this to a boil, because I want everybody to do their thing. All right, while that is coming to a boil, I still have my Calamarata. Okay, and Calamarata is made with durum wheat. And it's made with salt and flour and water. No eggs goes into this. And it's like I said, it's a Napolitan shape. There's over 400 varieties of pasta in Italy, guys. And they all come from different regions. And this one happens to come from Napoli. And this is a southern dish. This is a southern dish. So let me get my hands cleaned up over here, because I have the red right there. So very simple, easy transaction. You know, the most simplest dishes are the most tastiest dishes. So we're not going to add the seafood in there, because we don't want the calamari to get, you know, rubbery or hard. And that's what happens when people are afraid to use calamari. And I could not find calamaris, but I did find the medley, and I did not want to get a whole entire big calamari. So now what I want to do is I want to get my parsley, and I grow my own parsley. Here I also have some oregano on the side, because wait till I show you how I am going to plate this. So I have these little guys right here, and I grow these. These are my beautiful oreganos that I grow. I grow all of my herbs. And then what I want to do here is I want to take, with the stems, guys, with the stems. See what I'm doing? I'm just going to simply chop this up. Chop this up. I like to bring you many different dishes, from many different regions, from many different places. And, you know, I just love to just play with food. I used to get in so much trouble when I was little. My mom, she would get on my case. Elena, stop playing with your food. The manja. And I was skinny. I mean, and then I grew up into this voluptuous woman. You know, guys, we gotta love ourselves. Whether we have big boobs, small boobs, big butts, little butts, we gotta love ourselves. And you guys, whether you have muscles or not, you're fine. I mean, if you want some muscles, you can create some muscles. Work out at the gym, right? I work out in my garden. I still have a little bit of a muscle at almost 65. So what I want to do here now is I want to add my parsley right in here. Yes. I'm just going to save a little bit of the parsley. Oh yes, my sauce is coming along beautifully. Oh. And remember, we haven't done much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my pot over here. And because this pasta drinks a lot of the juice, the sauce, we want to finish it in here. And while that is finishing in here is when we are going to add the seafood. Yes. And it's all going to come together. Very beautiful dish. You can, let me move this out of the way, put this over here, so I'm done with that. Because what I want to do is now, I want to bring my pasta in here. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, you can smell the beautiful tomato sauce. Oh, mamma mia, che bellezza. What did I say? Oh, my mother, how beautiful, in Italian. Now I am going to add my seafood. Oh, the calamares, the little shrimps, the little clams, everybody goes in there like that. Then I'm just going to mix this together. And it's going to go quick, guys. It's just going to take a few minutes for the seafood and everybody to marry each other in here. So now this is doing its thing. Raise it all the way higher. And now I am going to go, and I'm going to disappear on you because I've forgotten one thing out of all these wonderful, it's only a few ingredients. But you know what, sometimes, you forget. So I'm going to go grab some wonderful cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. You can use Parmigiano Reggiano. I am going to be using Romano, a good Italian Romano cheese. I am going to bring in my beautiful plate. So if you want to impress, and this is, Valentine's is right around the corner, you can make this very easy dish. And then that way, for you guys can make this dish for your beautiful wives or beautiful girlfriends, and you beautiful ladies can make it for your husbands or boyfriends. And right now, it's almost finished. It's almost finished. Oh, I just love the tentacles. I just love calamares. I grew up eating squid. I grew up eating calamari. This is all the stuff that I grew up with. It was very easy, accessible in South America, because I spent 13 years in South America. Although I was born in southern Italy, Maierato, provincia di Catanzaro. And thank goodness for my parents that they really made us really speak at home Italian. So remember, we have the oregano, and we have just a little bit of the basil that we have here. Now what I want to do is I want to come over here, and I want to start taking let me move this so I can show you what I'm doing here. Let me bring back my board, because this is almost there. I am making sure that nobody's being overcooked. So what I want to do now is I want to bring, I'm going to taste right here, all this, look at the little technical. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. And see, when I use 3/4 cups of the wine, I don't have to use a lot of the pasta water. I think that the wine has a much nicer flavor, even though my pasta sauce is beautiful. And now the pasta is starting to get everybody marrying together. Now you can take the rest of the sauce of this and you can freeze it. And it can be a vegetable medley sauce. So, don't throw anything away. My parents never threw anything away. So what I want to do is I want to take the wonderful leaves of the oregano. My mom and dad, they always love to finish things with fresh ingredients, from their garden. I grew up with my parents. Oh, they always had a garden. They always had a garden. And I remember when we moved to Pittsburgh, the first thing that my dad did is to go to the backyard and start growing everything. Because, there was no garden there, but my father created one. And we grew the most beautiful things. Okay, so now it's time for me to bring this out. Let me grab my fishy thing. And now I'm going to shut this off because this is done. And I'm just going to bring my seafood. Oh my goodness. Look at this beautifulness. Wait till I show you guys. It is a really, truly a beautiful dish. It is delicious, and especially with this wonderful seafood. Oh yeah, baby, yes. And then what I'm gonna do with the sauce is I can, reduce it, or if not, I can just put it on the side, in something that you can pour over. But I don't think we're gonna be needing a lot of that in this. I like to serve it in a really cool plate like this. And you definitely wanna serve this immediately. Oh yes, baby, baby. You can see the clams in here. You can see the calamatas in here. You can see the squid in here. You can see the shrimp in here. It's truly a blessing to have seafood like this. Of course, in Italy, or in South America, in my mother's case, she would go to the market, where they would have all this freshness. So that takes care of that. So now let me go ahead and use this. This is clean, and I just want to come and clean it up even more over here. Now that we have this deliciousness, then what I want to come over here, so I want to put some of the parsley right on top of that. Oh yes, just a little bit, that'll give that little flavor. Yes, yes, yes. And then what I want to do over here is I want to come and I want to shake some of this wonderful cheese right on top of that. And then of course, and then we just bring the oregano leaves. I like to just let it run oregano. If you don't like to chomp onto oregano, you can slice the oregano, but I kind of like it like this. I like it nice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take black pepper, and I'm just going to put black pepper right over that. Black pepper goes into this wonderful dish. And then, if you want, and you want some more sauce, I just like to just drizzle just a little bit of the sauce right over this, just like that. And then, are you guys ready? Are you ready to see you Calamarata in seafood medley pasta? Let me show it to you. Che bellezza! Look at this beautiful thing. Look at this beautiful seafood, this beautiful deliciousness. I want to thank all my beautiful spouses, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today.